The great civilizations of the past laid the foundations for our modern world. The Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans are celebrated as remarkable engineers, scientists, and innovators. But the history books have overlooked a magnificent period of invention when some of the greatest minds of antiquity would revolutionize scientific and technological knowledge. This is the incredible story of the machines of the East. For the war engineers of the East were responsible for far more advanced discoveries, including fireproof uniforms and explosive weapons. One weapon in particular would change the face of war forever: the torpedo. The engineers and scientists of the East had made huge pathways in developing intricate technology that built on and furthered the innovations of ancient civilizations. But the great minds of the East are also responsible for the development of ingenious and terrifying weapons of war. And used in these weapons was a sophisticated form of refined gunpowder. Gunpowder was invented in China, but in its early stages of development was not explosive enough to be deadly on the battlefield. But now, new evidence suggests that scientists of the East devised a formula that could actually be harnessed for the theater of war. Working in the 13th century, Hassan al-Rama wrote an infamous book on military technology, detailing explosive recipes for gunpowder. So advanced was his thinking, we may have to re-examine the history of warfare. For within the pages of his book, Hassan al-Rama documents what is believed by some scholars to be the first rocket in history developed specifically for warfare.
He lists 22 different recipes for the powder for rockets and different forms of rocket. He's really the father of rocketry.
During the same period of innovation, Eastern war engineers also developed another weapon that harnessed the explosive capabilities of gunpowder: the cannon. There are intriguing images which still survive of Eastern forces carrying such cannons. In one early text from the St. Petersburg collection known as the Book of Sciences, a description is provided of a soldier who carries a midfa, or cannon. The weapon looks like a modern handheld rocket launcher.
Now, in the St. Petersburg manuscript that describes the uses, serious and for entertainment, as the title says, of gunpowder, we see pictures of a small barrel on the end of a stick. This is a hand cannon, or even the forerunner of a hand gun. This is the basis of the weapons that are carried by every soldier today.
But incredibly, the manuscript contains even more clues to the sophistication of warfare in the Eastern world: the use of fireproof clothing.
This is reconstructed based on the St. Petersburg manuscript. We start out underneath with silk tunic. We know that silk's fireproof. Even today, Formula One racing drivers wear silk underneath their Nomex fire suits. On top of that, we've a quilted garment. To a Western warrior of the time, it'd be known as an akaton. That comes from the Arabic al-kutun, meaning stuffed with cotton. But the key part is this on top, which is a woolen overtunic, a fireproof, indeed chemical-proof layer, similar to the nuclear biological warfare suits that a modern soldier would wear on the battlefield.
But how effective would this form of protection have actually been? Using original materials, we put it to the test. But incredibly, one device recently discovered in the ancient texts has caused us to revisit our ideas about concepts of warfare in the Eastern world. It was called the egg which moves itself and burns, and it is now believed that this weapon was the first torpedo in history. But did the war engineers of the East really possess the skills and knowledge to build such sophisticated devices?
The model I've here has been constructed based on illustrations from one of the early Islamic texts from around about 1220.
This would have been filled with an incendiary mixture. Used as a weapon of terror, the torpedo would have had a devastating effect on enemy vessels. But could this ancient device have really possessed such incredible powers of destruction?
brilliant. That was absolutely amazing. These guys were perfectly capable of making fairly formidable weaponry.
Although we may like to believe that after the demise of the Roman Empire, ancient technology was lost to the Dark Ages, we would be wrong in thinking so. New insights from historians and modern engineers have revealed that the lands of the East inherited and furthered the development of science and technology to new incredible heights.
I think they were almost more free-thinking in terms of technology, certainly than the Romans, maybe even more than the ancient Greeks.
In the years to come, as more Eastern manuscripts are studied, we will uncover more awe-inspiring machines, and we'll have to reconsider who were the great technological innovators that shaped our modern world.